how do you get introduced to Joe's book, Joe's work, and how did you accept it when you first heard it?
I learned a lot about the power of source and the power within me through my friend and dear, dear friend and mentor Oliver, which I'll be seeing at the end of this month. But he taught me a lot about that. And there were so many synchronicities or things that was happening in my life at the time that he taught me, that he showed me on how to respond and actually what it meant. And it just helped me read between the lines a lot more. So he helped me activate myself. And funny, that's, giving him with the plug here, spiritual activator on Instagram. Like, that's what he does. And he was such a good role model, even indirectly, just by being an example. So through that, I understood, okay, there's this power in me. Okay, what's this, right? So then 2019 comes by. I'm not working with him anymore. I'm on my own doing this videography, trying to get into this online world. 2019, breakup happens. It was like a painful breakup. And basically through that breakup, I discovered Dr. Joe Dispenza. I seen him on a podcast with Lewis Howes and talk about the relationship. And then, I was having a tough time getting over this girl. And then he just said something that freaking blew my mind. I was like, if you aren't being compelled by a vision of the future, you're only left by, with the memories of the past. Right. I'm like, oh my God. So this is why I can't get over this girl, because my vision of my future was always with her. And now that is gone,
Mm.
I don't have a new vision. So I had to create a whole new one. And literally, I can't even explain, but it's like I got over it literally with that one line. And I'm like, holy crap. So my first discovery of him was 2019 then. So this
Mm.
was, and I go to Sedona, Arizona with my mentor. It was around August, September, fall, right before COVID happened. Right before COVID happened. And Oliver, my good friend, he knows I was going through a breakup. Da, 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 da. He's like, don't worry, dude, it's gonna be okay. Da, 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 da. So he flies me out he was having his own retreat in Sedona, and he needed videographers. He's like, yo, can you help? Da, da, da. Like, yeah, boom, I came down, helped out. And then he always asked me this. And I feel like this is the greatest thing that you can ever ask as a mentor, as a dear friend, is you should always ask the people who are around you, like, who are you listening to? And he
Mm.
asked me that a lot throughout the years. He's like, who are you listening to right now? And I said, Dr. Joe. And then Oliver's assistant, Malia at the time, and she's like, oh, I think he's actually having a retreat here at the same time as us, actually, nearby. And I'm like, really? That's freaking bomb. But anyways, so the retreat ends, and then one night after the retreat, we're like, hey, let's go to this restaurant. It's called Che Achi, right? Che Achi. It's in Sedona. And we had a reservation, I believe, for 7:30. And we were gonna go to our friend's house at 6 o'clock to meet out, hang out by the fire before the restaurant reservation. However, there was, and you can call this, I'm about to share like a pretty much a crazy manifestation story. But anyways, um, there was 45 minutes of traffic in Sedona. And if you know Sedona, Arizona, it's a small place and like not a crazy amount of people visit it, but traffic is almost like never. It never happens. It's almost impossible, right? And Oliver's like, this is weird. And so we just tell our friends, we're like, hey, just meet us at the restaurant. We're gonna go to the open bar and just hang out, right? We'll hang out until the rezo at 7:30. So we drive to the restaurant instead. We arrive to Che Achi at 6:30. And I sit down. I sit down. We're at the open bar. I sit down and then I look to my left. I'm like, oh, it's freaking Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe's right here. What the hell? I'm like, literally to my left. And he's drinking a martini. I had a margarita. He had a martini, and he was talking to somebody else. And then Oliver's like, chill, chill. Let's just have a good conversation.
Stay
Because
cool. Stay
I'm
cool.
like fanboy. I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah. That's
If you
funny.
aren't being compelled by a vision or future, then you're always gonna be held back by the memories of the past. I'm like, damn. I'm like, this guy helped me get over this girl, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
anyways, we all just started talking, chatting, going deep into things, and then I mean, it was incredible. And then, anyways, 20 minutes later, he left around like 6:50. Now, keep in mind, our reservation originally 7:30. Met him at 6:30. He left at 6:50. Traffic never happens in Sedona. And then Oliver already knows. He's like, he knows how much this means to me. So he shared with me. He's like, dude, I know. You know why this happened, dude? We always just joke with each other all the time, but like, I'm like, why? And around this time, my coaching, the I always knew like I had this knack, this the skill to be able to help others and to impact and all this stuff. Um, he's like, dude, that happened because God wanted you to believe, universe, source, universe, whatever you want to call it, whatever word you want to put there, wanted you to believe, wanted you to see something that once the light turns on and once it happens, you can never turn your lights off. And he knows that you have work to do in this realm. You have work to do on this planet. And he gave you that opportunity. He created the traffic so that way you can see exactly that this is not by coincidence, but it's by design. And it was meant for you to believe and see that you are the creator of your life and you can vortex, you can warp things close to you just by thought alone and by what you believe. I was like, oh, oops, balls, man. But anyways, that's, and that happened. So that truly, that moment truly transformed me into like, I need to get into coaching. I know I can help people. I know I can lead people because I already had my limiting beliefs on myself before. I'm like, I'll stay as a videographer. I'll just like, shoot videos for these type of people. I'm like, dude, I need to be the one in front of the cameras now, not just behind. I need to be in front of it. So that's how I got through that journey. And then, I stopped doing Dr. Joe as much because after relationships, whatever. But when I got into him again was 2020, end of 2020, 2021, broke as hell. It'll be the last time I'll ever be broke. But I just remembered being so broke at my apartment, and I'm just trying to figure out this whole online money thing, and I'm in debt at this point. Like I don't even have money anymore. I just like credit cards and all that stuff, and I'm in debt. And I'm like, oh my God, just like I'm like really like in my head, like please, like I just surrender. God, universe, if you're listening to me right now, I know you're there. I know we haven't talked in a while, and I'm sorry, but like if there's a moment for you to just give me some sort of light and hope, please, now would be the moment. And then, no lie, literally within the next day, like I just had this idea, and you could say this idea was channeled to me or whatever. But I was like, dude, why don't you check out Dr. Joe again? Because I seen one of his videos pop up. He's like, dude, if he can help you heal your heart, perhaps he can help you heal your wallet. I'm like, good idea. Let me try. So I got his, intensive progressive workshop that you got to go through. I did that. I'm like, okay, cool. And this was the most difficult stage where like I had to connect with my highest version, how to figure out how to make money, how to do all this stuff. And I think that's one of the hero's journeys because the very first time when you do that, when you don't have the results in your physical reality, right? It's very hard to create that energy and frequency inside of your head because how can you experience that, right? But I started doing his work, practicing his work over and over and over again. I have a whole video on this on my YouTube channel, how I manifested $250,000 doing Dr. Joe meditations. And I did it. And when the right opportunity came and I had the right skill set, literally, I went like this overnight in entrepreneurship at the time. Literally went like this overnight. And that's how I got into his work. Later on, actually this year, I had some health things too. So I believe we have 3 pillars in life: health, wealth, relationships. So I was able to excel a lot in just those 2 areas alone. In the beginning was relationship, wealth. I had all that. And then I ran into some health things this year. I'm like, dude, man, people got over cancers. I can get over some health things too. Let me try this again. So now I'm going through his work for another thing. And like, this thing that, like it was saying that, you're supposed to, it'll take a very long time to heal. The average time for, what I was going through was like 3 to 5 years or whatever. And then I'm like, no, let me change that up. And I went through the healings. I did the meditations over and over again. I got rid of it in 30 days. Boom, healed myself healed myself in the health condition. So now I have a tremendous amount of belief, a tremendous, an unbelievable belief and conviction that this stuff exists. And I don't have to pray. I mean, I don't have to pray to a certain name or anything like that. I believe the energy is all within us. It's all in here. And we are powerful divine beings with all the cells and all the energy that exists right in this universe. This table is part of me. This water bottle is part of me. We're all frequency. What we're seeing here is, we're living in a fractal universe. This is just like literally just a hologram of what's being sent out of my mind, right? So I believe we have all the power, required. And that's why I went to the retreat this year. And I'm like, I had a meditation, something that told me go to the retreat. I'm like, all right, cool. And I went to the retreat and here we are.
What's going on, guys? If you like that clip right there, you will love the full interview. You can check that out right there. I'll see you on the next video. Oh, and subscribe because we got a lot of big things coming up in the near future.